my turn, right?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay. Kevin Harvick has now joined us. He drives the number 29 Shell Pennzoil Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. He's currently third in points. And Kevin, I know we heard from you yesterday, and you've had probably less than 24 hours since we've seen you last, but you're looking good. But talk about now your mindset as it draws closer. You're getting ready to get on that racetrack for the first time here shortly. You gotta be feeling pretty juiced up.
Yeah, I mean, the most exciting thing is that I get to see you guys twice in less than 24 hours.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty pumped.
You can thank me for that, Kevin.
I'm pretty pumped about that. But no, really, it's been a great week. You know, the fan support has been just a little bit overwhelming, and you know, obviously the whole week has been a lot of fun, and I think our team's having a lot of fun. Everybody's loose and relaxed, and just really looking forward to getting to Sunday and getting into the race and seeing how it all unfolds. So, I mean, for us, you know, last year at this time it was a total disaster. You know, this year is just a 180 from everything that we've done. So, you know, I've tried to make sure that everybody's enjoying it and having fun, because win or lose, it's been a great year for us. And you know, that's pretty much the whole point of the whole weekend, is to have fun and try to win a race and see where it all falls after that.
Okay, we'll take some questions for Kevin. We'll start here with Ed and then go to Claire. Go ahead, Ed.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com, with two quick ones, Kevin. One, are we going to see a race Sunday where we got three championship contenders who are going to go all out to win the race all out?
Well, I know that seems to be, from listening, it seems to be everybody's plan. So I think that's the only way that you can control your own destiny, is to go out and win the race. So you know, I think you know, those guys have a lot of scenarios. Our scenario is very simple. You go out and win the race, and they have to have, you know, a fourth and a seventh, and that's the best case scenario. So for us, it's simple, and I think, you know, those guys are talking that way. Whether they do that or not is yet to be seen.
And the other part is, as good as you feel and 2019 feels this weekend, do you have some sympathy for your teammates, especially for Clint, getting thrown for a loop out of the gate like that team did, and losing their pit crew to you and all, and also to some extent also for Jeff, both of them being down there 11th and 12th, and Clint being in kind of knock flat circumstance? Yeah,
obviously the way that the way the 33's chase got started had to deal with some controversy. You know, as far as the pit crew thing, with that particular team, that was actually the pit crew that I started with and had been with for a number of years. And when Clint was trying to make the chase, they moved those guys around. So it's not the first time that's happened within our organization to try to make something happen. Obviously, the 31 has run great and just had a lot of crashes and things go wrong. So those guys have run just as good. But they just, you know, they hadn't had the results at the end of the days to make it all happen. So it's been a kind of a different year for everybody from different ends of the spectrum.
Go Claire and then Bruce.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. Jimmy was just in here. I asked him how he slept. He said, since we saw him yesterday, he said he slept good, but he wasn't sure Denny did. How did you sleep last night? And also, looking ahead to today, how important or not is today in perspective, the practice session and the qualifying?
Well, I look at I slept fine, by the way. I don't usually have a problem doing that. So, you know, the practice sessions are, the first part of the practice session for me is the most important, to see where we are as far as our race trim stuff, and that always tends to lead us into a good direction for the second day, to get started with the first practice and then on to the happy hour. So you know, it seems like we all kind of drew around each other in qualifying. So I don't think the qualifying draw is going to be a huge difference. I'd love to sit up here and tell you that we were going to qualify better, but you know, I don't know. I think our average is like 27, 26, whatever it is for the chase. So qualifying hasn't been our strong point, but our race cars have been really good, and we seem to get where we need to be relatively quickly. So hopefully we can buck that trend today and have our one good qualifying effort of the chase and go on with it.
Let's go Bruce, then we'll go Dwight, and then Joe and Tony.
Bruce Martin, SI.com. Kevin, a lot of people want to compare this to 04, but I think a better comparison might be 92. Do you recall the 92 race? Did you watch it? And, I know that you were probably still in high school then or whatever. But
I was in high school.
What are your thoughts of that?
Yeah, we've, the 92 season was obviously had a very interesting end to the season, and with Allen winning the championship, and I think he finished second in the race that day. So yeah, led the most laps and finished second. So, but a lot happened. Obviously, you had the accident with Davey, but those things happen. I mean, we came down here in 2007. For me, the best scenario that I can put it up against is Hornaday coming down 56 points behind. So I've lived that one. I was a part of that race. Was a part of all the emotions that we went through for 2 or 3 weeks as Ron led up to the championship, and we came down and the wheels literally fell off the 5 truck, and Ron went on to make up 56 points and win the championship. So it's not a lot of points, and we've made well over 46 points on several occasions throughout the season on both cars.
But can you foresee one of the 3 having some type of incident? Because Davey had an incident.
Well, I think that everybody's prone to mechanical problems. The 11s obviously had more mechanical problems than either of us several times during the season. So, I think that's a realistic scenario. But anything can happen at any given moment in this sport, and that's the great part about it. And you can have mechanical issues, you can have wrecks, you can have penalties, you can lose your mind, you can do all kinds of things. So it's just going to be fun to see it unfold, and I think 92 is a great example of how it could unfold. So it's just, there's no telling what's going to happen. Now, we all run good enough to run in the top 5 and win the race, but there's a lot going on.
Let's go Dwight, Joe, and Tony.
Dwight from RaceTech.com. Kevin, with all your activities, team owner, driver, along the way, did you have to learn how to keep cool?
There's a lot of different scenarios that I guess we've been through. How we handled them the first time, probably some of them were right, a lot of them were wrong. But I think as you go through all these different scenarios, whether it's a team owner, whether it's driver, in trouble, out of trouble, whatever the case may be, usually we don't make that mistake twice. And I think we've been through enough things to obviously there's new situations that creep up all the time, but we've been through enough that we understand how things work and understand what we should do. But I'm as aggressive on the team ownership side. I want results. I want to see the results on the racetrack. If you're not doing your job, I'm going to get in your face and tell you that you're not doing your job. I'm going to do it politely now. I'm not going to tell you that you're just dumb. I'm going to ask you, to do it our way. And if you don't want to do it our way, then you're going to have to go somewhere else and do it. So we have a very specific routine that we want to see things run through, and I think a lot of that has come from the driver's side of it and bled over into the team ownership side of it. So in my mind, I have a way that I see things running.
All right, we're going to take 3 more. Joe, Tony, and end with Jim. Go ahead, Joe.
Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. I'm wondering how the deep-sea fishing expedition went for the team, and is that kind of an example of how loose you guys are and relaxed? Do you think that could play to your advantage?
Well, I have a very experienced team. Those guys are not going to get wound up about much, and it's not the first time they've gone on a fishing trip. Obviously, it's a much more public fishing trip than it has been in the past. So, I hadn't been to the trailer yet, but I would assume that they all had fun based upon all the pictures that I've seen. So it looks like everybody's having fun, and it's just good for them to get out of the shop. I mean, obviously, they're as intense about this and as anybody, and want to go out and do the best job that they can. But it's good that they had a day and a half there to just kind of get their minds off everything and just relax.
Let's go Tony, and then end with Jim. Go ahead, Tony.
Tony Fabrizio, Tampa Tribune, to your right. Over here, left. Sorry, left. Your left.
Left.
Over here.
You're like my wife. Go left. Left.
Sorry about that. Hey, you made that comment a while back that somebody else needs to win it, and it was funny, and it was kind of what everybody else was thinking. but you've made a real personal investment in this sport. What do you really think about the merits of a dynasty versus the need for a fresh story?
Yeah, you know, sometimes my filter is not strained very well. But yeah, I think it would be great for the sport to see somebody else win. Just for the fact that, let me back up. I think this whole scenario is great for the sport, and that makes me more excited than racing for the championship. I think to see the championship come down to 3 guys, and the hype and the talk and the activity, and I see it on my Twitter page. I see it on my the phone calls that come through the shops from the fans. You see it on the website, and you just see the activity in the last 3 weeks has been something that we hadn't seen in several years. So for me, as a team owner, as a driver, as a fan of the sport, it's been something that's fun to see and exciting to see, and you see a lot of fans that, you know, talk about not being that interested in racing over the last couple of years, and all of a sudden, you know, they're popping up on Twitter, they're popping up on your website, they're calling the shop, and those are the people that we need back interested in the sport. But I vote for somebody else to win. So yeah, Jimmy's a friend, and I think they've had a great run and done a great job, but there's nothing more that anybody wants to do, and that's other than beat them right now. So might as well be us.
Final question. Go ahead, Jim.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. You talked earlier about the potential of someone maybe even losing their mind. When you consider this season, the boys have at it, all the stuff we've already seen that's taken place on the track at different times, your teammate, how Denny reacted last week, and he was still the points leader.
And yesterday.
When this is all done, is there potential here for some really big moment to have transpired between the 3 of you? Something that you know, somebody's going to leave with their feelings hurt or something?
Well, I know from our standpoint, as a driver and as a team and as an organization, I know what they expect out of me, and that's, like I told you guys yesterday, we'll do whatever we have to do to win a championship, and if it winds up hurting somebody's feelings, then so be it.
Okay, Kevin Harvick, thanks for coming in, and good luck this weekend in your quest for your championship.